Welcome. I'm your host for the Advanced Wisdom Series, Richard HAASNOOT. My goal with this series is to help you live more of a wisdom-inspired life, which is the highest form of life that us humans can live. In the course of sharing quotes with you, I'm going to be sharing some very specific suggestions that you can take to live more of a wisdom-inspired life. The wisdom in this series comes from three God-realized enlightened avatars that I have studied the most: Krishna, Jesus, and Paramahansa Yogananda. As God-realized enlightened avatars, they know God, so when they speak or write, we are getting the wisdom of God. So, that said, let's jump into today's episode, which will cover topics like habits, both good and bad, and God. Quote, "It may take from 8 to 12 years to substitute a good habit for a strong bad habit. Before the strong good habit is fully formed, a man must not put himself in the way of temptation." Now, the first time I became aware of this, I was stunned. 8 to 12 years to bring about change. Gosh, I thought I could do it in a month or two, or maybe 6 months. But as I've gone on in my spiritual journey, I've come to realize that change, especially of strong bad habits, does not change quickly. It takes a lot of work and diligence. So if you want to improve, just set a time frame expectation for yourself that you're going to have to be focused on changing this very bad habit for a long time to be successful. So with that in mind, let me share with you a few ideas on how you can go about doing that. First, set very clear goals, clear and specific goals about the bad habit you want to change. And define that. Instead of acting with this bad habit, I want to act with this good habit, and understand in granular detail what this good habit looks like. Okay? Second is create a routine. Make focusing on changing a bad habit a regular part of your life. Not, okay, I'll try it for a day or two, and maybe I'll think about it in 6 months from now. No, it's going to take a routine. And third, keep holding yourself accountable for the change. As you embark on changing a bad habit, you're going to slip up. So hold yourself accountable and be patient with yourself, okay? Changing very bad habits has great rewards, both spiritually and in terms of your happiness, okay? Next quote. "To starve out bad habits, one must get away from evil surroundings. Above all, one must never dwell mentally on evil thoughts." This kind of builds on the previous quote. And starving out bad habits. You starve out bad habits by not acting on bad habits, okay? And you need to get away from the kind of surroundings where that habit tends to manifest. There are triggers in our life that trigger bad habits when we're in certain environments. So here are a few thoughts on how you can go about not dwelling on evil thoughts. First of all, create a high level of self-awareness of what's going on, how you're reacting, how you're feeling, all of that. Second, focus on personal growth. Personal growth is getting better day by day by day, but with focus, okay? And in many times, we can limit exposure to negative influences. We know when we're in a particular situation with particular people that certain habits can be triggered. To the extent that we stay out of those situations where we're highly likely to act on bad habits, we can starve the bad habit. Okay? Very important. Next quote. "Those who really mourn for God, who wail incessantly for him, capital H, with ever-increasing zeal in meditation, shall find comfort in the realization of wisdom and bliss sent to them by God. Now, I've talked about this and talked about the importance of prayer in some other episodes, that prayer can't be weak prayer. God, if you have time, could you really possibly help me with this? God's not going to listen too much to that. And the wisdom texts are very clear about that. So the words here of ever-increasing zeal in meditation, and I would add to that ever-increasing zeal in prayer. Okay? That's how we gain revelation of wisdom and bliss sent to them. God wants us. God is a very forgiving God, and God wants us to succeed. So a couple of thoughts about how to pray to God with zeal. One, pray with others. Wherever two or more people gather, there's a great power. I hosted meditation and prayer sessions many years ago, and the minimum for a session to happen was to have 3 people. There is power in group prayer. Second, create a sacred space, a space that you go to pray, to feel with God, to meditate. Journaling, images, whatever it is that kind of, wakes you up and say, yes, this is my sacred place where I can get to know God better and better day by day. And third, practice devotional activities with zeal. Okay? So, quite a bit of wisdom in these 3 quotes. As always, I deeply appreciate you watching these episodes. I look forward to reconnecting with you soon. Thank you very much.